So I'm glad everybody's joining us because I have the wonderful Julie Lappin, who I'm going to be speaking with. You and I have known each other for so long because we were back in the early days when my mother was giving workshops on the weekend. I don't know if it's 25, 30 years, Julie. Do you know?
Yeah, my first workshop was 2002. I had really bad allergies. I was taking shots 3 times a week. I
Mm.
had adult onset asthma. I had arthritis that started when I was 34, and I was able to arrest that with the work.
Wow.
Asthma, which I got to the point where I could just handle it by holding my head.
Mm.
And I'm only in the A's, right? Allergies, acid reflux. I'm only in the A's. I really was a hot.
You have the whole alphabet. You've covered in your lifetime with people and yourself the whole alphabet, I'm sure.
And over the years, I've realized how much of it related to stress and
Mhm.
all that good stuff. So
Oh, it's such a big one for everybody. Stress, and stress can also affect sleep in so many ways. And that's one of the big topics that we are talking about today is insomnia because
yes,
and Julie is an expert. She's going to be teaching on the weekend, which I will get to the information of this amazing class that is happening. Julie Lappin is going to be one of our teachers. And so she has some great techniques for insomnia. One of the things that I would love to ask you, Julie, because we are talking about Eden energy medicine in particular, and how can insomnia, how is it different than regular Western medicine when they give you a medication or some sort of solution than Eden energy medicine? How is it
yeah.
different?
Well, first of all, I mean, insomnia. There are lots of different causes of insomnia. Or things, maybe not causes, but symptoms that aren't necessarily related to each other, and also components that go into your particular issue with insomnia. It's really hard, given that there are so many different things that can be happening. For one thing, there's 5 different types of insomnia. Right.
Wow.
And how you interact with that can be very individual. Well, it's pretty hard to give you a pill,
Mhm.
one size fits all, and pills can have side effects and they can cost money. And, so with this program that Kelly and I are quite proud of this class that we put together, because we go through all the different symptoms that you can have, because some people can't fall asleep to save their soul, right? Some people can't stay asleep. Some people wake up multiple times a night. Some people wake up at the same time every single night. There are different energy patterns that contribute to all of that. So we can target the different things that are happening and give solutions.
I love that. That's fantastic that knowing that there are different sleep challenges for all of us because we're all so different. I think that's one of the reasons why Eden Energy Medicine, it can help empower you. So you're not taking a sleep drug to fall asleep, but you're working with your body's own energies in order to help you fall asleep. And you are addressing the underlying causes, like those medications can do something really, really quick to help you fall asleep. But if you're not going underneath what is actually happening, whether it's stress in your life, there's so many other causes for sleep, whether your nervous system is dysregulated to stress. And so addressing those, and individually, I love that you're explaining so many different sleep challenges that you will be addressing in this class, and how to help yourself with Eden Energy Medicine, because I think it's empowering to have that own power in your hands and helping your body, because we have habits. And sleep, sleep patterns, sleep challenges are habits in our body that our body has gotten used to. But our
Yep.
body always wants to heal. That's what my mother always says. Our bodies are wise, and they do want to heal, but we have to work with our bodies. And I think Eden Energy Medicine is part of empowering us in that way.
And another thing that Donna always says that I really love, I can hear in my mind's ear,
That's good.
I I can hear her saying it, and I just love it when she says it. She's just figure it out, keep going, figure it out, experiment, have a child's mind about it, right? So don't try something and get frustrated. Just keep experimenting. Figure it out. Our bodies do want to heal.
Mhm.
Absolutely do want to heal.
Mhm.
And I'm glad you brought up habits, because in addition to having energy habits,
Mhm.
and energy habits can be retrained. That's the good
Mhm.
news, right? In addition to having energy habits, we also have lifestyle habits that can cause insomnia or greatly attribute or contribute to it. And one of the things that I did when I left home, I used to love it when I would get a second wind at night. And I felt like I was really creative. Like, I studied piano for 17 years before I left high school, right?
Mhm.
17? No, that couldn't have. I started when I was 2. I started taking
Wow.
piano lessons when I was 2. So, and that's right. I kept taking lessons. So it was a total of 17 after leaving school. But I felt like I was my most creative at practicing at 12, at midnight, or 1 in the morning, right? So I loved it when I got a second wind. So I thought, oh, this is the universe providing creativity to me. I didn't realize that by giving into that, I was creating about 25 years worth of difficulty sleeping, right?
So
So
true.
I didn't realize that the reason I got a second wind is because if I wasn't in bed and asleep by 11 o'clock, when triple warmer's natural time ends, then
Yes.
triple warmer was viewing it as an emergency. Oh my God, she's still up. Her ancestors, when they were in bed by the time it was dusk, there must be an emergency. I better dump a whole bunch of adrenaline and cortisol into her system. So that's what woke me up,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
I didn't realize that it was not a good idea to get to allow that to happen.
Yeah. Hey, for our viewers out there, maybe somebody doesn't know about triple warmer. Could you explain a little bit about triple warmer,
Yes.
since we're
Yes.
talking about it so much?
It's a cornerstone. It's something that Donna is really known for in the energy business, right? Which
Mhm.
includes acupuncture. Triple warmer is one of the meridians in Chinese medicine, but it is the meridian that controls fight, flight, or freeze. Go forward, go back, stay in place. And there's a whole class on triple warmer, right? But one of the things that happens is because of the fact that we have changed so much in the way that we live in the last several hundred years, and triple warmer lives in the back brain. It's the reptilian brain. It takes a long time to change it. It doesn't adapt easily. So it's still comparing our experiences to what our great, great, great grandparents were experiencing. So we are not going to bed at dusk anymore. We're not getting up at first light. we're not taking it easy in the winter like a farming community would, right?
Mhm.
So we're not living with nature. And triple warmer is constantly overcharged, and we don't really have much oomph for emergencies because of that. So when triple warmer doesn't get a chance to stand down at night, it will keep us up with a second wind, right?
Mhm.
Well, it turns out that messes up our circadian rhythms, and their circadian rhythms are what govern whether we get a good night's sleep or not.
Yes.
So, what I was doing was I was altering how my hormone um, landscape was occurring. I was getting too much cortisol. I was getting too much adrenaline. We all are doing that anyway,
Mm.
because just because of the nature of triple warmer. But I wasn't allowing enough melatonin to develop. We're going to be talking about all of this week.
Mhm. Mhm.
Really quite fascinating. What I didn't realize, I hated getting up for work. I hated it. Now it is true that I wasn't getting enough sleep, right? But when you're young, that is not that critical. I knew plenty of people that weren't getting as much sleep as I was, and they were functioning just fine. Right? I did not realize that the fact that I hated getting up and I was always dragging and I couldn't exercise. Oh my God. I remember for about a year I tried jogging at 6 in the morning. All I wanted to do by the time I got to my day job that started at 8 o'clock, I for about an hour and a half, all I could do is dream of laying my head down on my desk and sleeping, right? It just had the opposite effect on me. All of that was tied to the fact that I was not getting to bed at a good time. And I never realized that until I was, I mean, I'm 70 now. I never realized that until last year,
Mhm.
right? So I started doing the energy work, and it wasn't geared to sleep, right? But within about 2 years of just walking forward, doing the Eden method techniques, all of a sudden I realized, oh my God, I don't mind getting up anymore.
Mhm.
That's so good.
That is
That
fantastic.
is so good. And then years later, I was able to exercise in the morning and get something out of it. So all of those, it was so interesting that all of those things were tied together and I never realized it.
Mm. That's beautiful. That's a great story. Because sleep in itself, we need to replenish our bodies at night. We need to rest. We need to restore. And that's the one way that you can go out into the world and stay focused in your job, stay together for your kids and your family. We need this amazing figure eight energy of going in and sleeping and letting go and then going out into the world and sharing our gifts. It's so important, but so many of us are imbalanced in that way because of the lifestyle we're leading. And now coming off of the pandemic, so many people want to get into the new normal, their own new normal, whatever that may be. And so they're gearing up and going, okay, here I come out of the gate. And really some of their sleep is being diminished. And so it's very off in many people's circadian rhythms, their own rhythm. And we each have an individual rhythm itself. So I think you're going to be talking about circadian rhythms, different patterns in the class. And this class is this weekend. Tell us more about what's happening in the class that you're going to be talking about.
Well, we're going to be talking about circadian rhythms, which was a lot more interesting than I ever realized.
Mm.
We're going to be talking about the different symptoms that that are very typical, the the bigger groups of symptoms, and then we're going to be giving exercises and techniques for each thing so that you can go, oh, okay, that's mine. Oh yeah, and that's mine. No, that's not mine so much. Maybe I'll try that later, right?
Mhm.
But what is true is that sleeping well actually starts with starting our day right, right? And the circadian rhythms they both govern as well as are impacted by the environment. So when we choose to eat makes a difference in how well the sleep rhythm, because we have multiple circadian rhythms, but the sleep cycle is affected if we eat at odd times. For instance, if we don't get light during the day, if we get too much light at night past a certain time, it's affected by all these things. It's really intricate and fascinating and wonderful. It reminds me about how beautiful and beautifully complex the body is.
Mm. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this weekend, folks. It's this weekend. Our class on insomnia and Eden energy medicine. It's going to be given by Julie Lappin, who we're talking with today, and also Kelly Getz. And I love these two women. They are top teachers in the certification program, and they also have their own business, being practitioners themselves. But they also have this amazing energy show on our Eden Living membership program called Dear Energy Coach. And some of you might have seen it on social media as well. So I love that we have these two teachers for this class that is coming up this weekend, April 27th and 28th. I'll tell you a little bit more about it, but Julie, I want to ask you if you could tell us a certain technique, entice us with some sort of technique for insomnia that we can get spiced up by.
Okay, well, gosh, there are so many. It just depends on what your issue is. But I will say there are a lot of people, especially coming out of the pandemic, there are a lot of people who've been really affected by anxiety. And if your mind is continually racing and you can't let go of what you're thinking about and you're worrying about things, that is absolutely an issue. And there are a number of things. The great news is there are a number of things that we have that we can do for that, because some things work better for certain people, and it's this is that experimentation thing. But one of the things that I love to do when I'm in bed is to do what we call the adrenal hold. So this is super easy if you're a side sleeper like me. Like, you don't have to make any effort. So you put one hand lightly on your forehead. Don't push in. We're inviting the oxygen and the blood to come back up to your forehead. And then the other part is you're going to hold your hand on your second chakra. See me. Can you see the whole thing?
Yes, yes.
And I love that. Actually, you know what? I'm feeling like somebody who's watching needs this one. So come down to the heart chakra and keep your hand at the second chakra. This is wonderful. It's wonderfully grounding, for one thing. And it connects two kinds of love. The love of motherhood, which is the second chakra, and then the heart chakra is 100% all about love. But the other thing is that this is super grounding, and anxiety almost always has an ungrounded component to it. It's like if somebody comes in and tells me that they're coming to me first and foremost because of chronic anxiety, the first thing I check is whether they're grounded. So, and if you are noticing, just tune into your body. And if you're feeling anxious at all, just notice, is there a place in your body that you're feeling anxious? Is it showing up in any particular way? You can kind of scan, what's your head doing? What are your shoulders doing? What's happening in your throat and your chest and your lungs and your torso, where all those many, many organs are? Does it feel like things are stuck at your waist or below? And another thing that you could do is to bring that energy down, just firmly bring that energy down. And I don't know if you can see this. I'm just going to go off my feet. Try that one more time. Beck, you could even include your face. You could bring it down and just see all that anxiety. Just gather it up in your mind and see it following your hands. Go firmly down the fronts of your legs and off your toes and shake your hands off.
Hmm. That was beautiful. I feel very much more calm. I feel like my nervous system is a little bit more regulated. Ah, thank you so much. So in that particular exercise, would you breathe normally, or is there a certain breath that you do?
You know, it's interesting. We like in Donna likes to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And the biggest, I mean, there are lots of different ways to breathe. And if you do yoga, you'll know that for sure, right? But the reason she does breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth is because it helps the hookup, which is something we talk about. It's where central and governing meridians, which control the nervous system and the spine and all sorts of good things, they meet up. And when that hookup, we literally call it the hookup in the back of the throat, when that hookup is really working well, it elevates us into our radiant circuits, which are our joy juices, joy, ecstasy, happiness, love, connection, orgasm. All of those things are radiant circuit functions. And it's one of the reasons why when we do energy medicine, when we do the Eden method techniques for any length of time, we train our systems to be happy, to be resilient, to go to joy. The example I gave where I hated waking up and then all of a sudden I was like, I'm glad to be awake at 6 a.m, right? That totally shifted my relationship to that part of my life. So that's one of the things that happens when the hookup is really vibrant and alive and working really well. So breathing in through the nose, I know I went into my little fire tangent, but I'm pulling it back together again. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth helps to support the hookup. Interestingly, when I was researching sleep apnea, that is also one of the exercises that they give for snoring and obstructive sleep apnea. Intentionally breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's so simple to do. That's a great little tip.
You can do it while you're driving. You can, you can do it while you're waiting for the toast to pop out of the toaster.
Oh, that's wonderful. Julie, you don't look 70, and I'm wondering if it's the Eden Energy Medicine that is doing it. It's amazing, amazing.
For sure and I hear that all the time. And I have to tell you, when I start, so I'm 70 in 24, right? So I was born in 54. So I started this work in 2000. So whatever, I think it was 45, something like that. Because of all that stuff that was going on, in some ways, I actually looked older then than I do now.
I've seen that in a lot of teachers over the years, the pictures. Yeah, we're all getting younger as we get older because of this work. Just take a look at my mother.
Benjamin Button in reverse. Yeah.
Yes. Well, let me talk about the class that we were doing this weekend. It's this weekend, April 27th and 28th. And anybody who comes, you're going to love it. It's all about insomnia, Eden Energy Medicine techniques taught by Julie Lappin and Kelly Getz. And it's just going to be a fantastic weekend. The link is going to be in somewhere in our scroll, so you can click on the link so that you can see more of the information that is going to happen. And also, I think we have bonuses. We have 7 bonuses. That's a lot for a class alone. Julie, could you tell us about some of those bonuses that they're going to get?
Yes, you are going to get, first of all, a video of the daily sleep routine that is from start to finish a little quicker than some of the videos that are out there, because usually we're teaching it in our videos. And so Kelly did one where it's a little bit less talking and a little bit more forward movement. So it's good once you learn it, but you want to still have something to guide you through. It's a little quicker. And then we've got the meridian tracing routine that Donna did. It was just beautiful. Here's the thing. The circadian rhythms are really supported by tracing the meridians around the flow wheel, but we thought that that was too advanced for this class and too time consuming, quite frankly. So we're giving it as a bonus because some people, here's where it's relevant. People who have jet lag really want to do meridian tracing, right? People who are not work different shifts, which really interrupts the circadian rhythm, really want to learn to do meridian tracing because it will really help with their interrupted sleep. And then I'm doing a video of exercises for snoring and sleep apnea. We also are giving you Donna's daily routine because, it's Donna. It's Donna explaining the daily routine. Sometimes you just want to go watch that just because she's a walking radiant circuit. She is the epitome of joy. And at any time I connect to something that she's doing, I just totally get my radiant circuits light up. Don't yours?
Yes. Even if she's my mom, yes.
I know, I was just going to say, and that's really complicated. And we're going to give you a chart of source points so that you can learn those. Source points are awesome acupuncture points. Acupoints, because it's acupuncture if you use a needle, it's acupressure if you use pressure. They're all the same points, right? Source points, there's one for every single meridian. And this point, it's like I think of those water towers, that hold all the water for the community. It's like that. It's a well of additional energy that can be used whenever needed. And it sends energy directly to the organ that the meridian is named for. So there's a bladder source point. And if you work that, it'll send energy, extra luscious, wonderful, lemon-scented, that's my joke, lemon-scented energy right to the bladder. If you have a kidney issue, you can use the kidney source points and it'll send energy right to the kidneys. And boy, can we use that even if we don't have problems, because we're constantly ingesting either through the air or water or the food that we eat or the environment that we're in. If there's a lot of negativity going on, we're constantly ingesting toxins that we need to move through. And we can do that with kidney and liver source points. The bigger thing is for the relevance to this class is that those are easy points that we can point you to, so that if you're waking up at a certain time overnight, you can work that to help that meridian get balanced so you can get back to sleep. You can also use the entire source point system to be a substitute for tracing the meridians.
Beautiful. That's a lot of bonuses. Oh, more? There's more.
There's more.
There's more.
If you order now, you'll get the Ginsu knives.
Yes.
Meridian tracing, daily sleep routine. Oh, yes, we've got 2 different kinds of trackers, right? So you may now some of you may just start doing some of these techniques and go, "Oh wow, I'm already sleeping really well," right? But for some people it can be complicated. It gets complicated, but if do you have an underlying condition that makes it complicated? Do you have meds that you're taking that have side effects of, sleeplessness? So it can just take more work, right? We in terms of figuring it out. So we have several different charts where you can track what's happening. What symptom did I have? What did I do? Did that work as well as I wanted to? So you can track it and come up with your own routine that's going to work well for you.
Nice. I love that. I love the sleep routine. Yeah, and a sleep tracker.
I think that's it.
That's it. Okay, well, that's a lot. You guys are giving a lot away for this amazing weekend workshop that's coming up this weekend, April 27th and 28th. I'm excited about it. And letting you know that these are all recorded. You get this whole thing for life. So if you have a busy weekend this weekend and doing something else, you might just want to buy it just to have it because they're all recorded. You also get a 30-day back money guarantee. That's amazing. So you could watch it and think, it really doesn't apply to me. I'm not getting what I wanted to get out of it. And then you could call us up and say, no, it just doesn't work for me. No questions asked. We give you your money back. So that's an amazing part of this. So the link is somewhere in the scroll, somewhere on the camera. I don't know where it's going to be, but it's going to be there. Go to it and find more about this class. So I'm excited to learn more about sleep this weekend because I think we all need that balance in our lives, whether we are experiencing sleep challenges or not. I know I don't get enough sleep, and it does weigh on me because I am getting older and really experiencing it. I'm not as young as I used to be and could bounce back. So I'm really excited to learn all about some of these techniques that maybe I don't know and getting into an amazing mindset for myself. And I hope you all join us. So we're going to say goodbye, but Julie, do you have any last minute thoughts for us and our audience?
Well, I started out saying that good sleep starts in the morning. And we really talk about what you can do throughout the whole day and into the evening to build a different habit of healthy sleep before you ever get to the part where you're doing, can't get to sleep, right? There are things that we can do each part of the day to set us up for a successful night.
Mm.
And then we've got a daily sleep routine, and we've got pillow pattern techniques.
That sounds fun.
Yes. So we're really looking forward to it's been an exciting process putting this class together. And what's interesting is, nobody ever, almost never did anybody come in the last 20 some years of doing sessions. Almost never did somebody come to me saying my primary issue is sleep. For one thing, they don't think of us for that, right?
Mm.
But it would come up in many sessions, right? As we would get to session 3 or 4 or 5 with somebody, and then you'd realize, oh, they're not sleeping much either. And what's incredible is knowing that it was the tracker part that was getting us to people saying, however long later, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, however they were applying it, right? But that working systemically with them also helped their sleep issues, right? So what we realized is this is about tracking what's actually happening in their energy.
Beautiful. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Well, thank you so much, Julie. This has been an incredible little conversation we've had. It's really good to see you, and I can't wait to come to this weekend to experience insomnia through the Eden energy medicine techniques and modalities. So thanks, Julie.
Bye.